work last week concerning what we did in the previous week. So I believe we are all now on the same page. We are all in this particular way. We upload all our data. We've done the modeling. Everything is good for us. So we'll now start building our visuals. But before we do that, let's try and do all the necessary measures that we think we can use in the course of this our building this report. So do I have permission to start, madam?
The class is yours, sir. Let's start.
Okay.
Anyhow.
Okay, thank you, ma. So we did something last that was 2 weeks ago. We tried to create a new table where we renamed that as our key measures, if you recall, and we were able to create two measures, which is we look at, okay, what is the total number of orders using the distinct count, because if you look at the orders table, let me go back to the table. I think should be order details. Yeah. So it is possible that a particular order ID will appear more than once. Of course, a particular customer may order a lot of product, maybe one time. So that's the reason why we use distinct orders here. So okay, we know that a particular order may appear more than one, but let's look at the distinct count. That's where the distinct count functions comes in. So with that, we're able to get our total orders. Then also in terms of the sales, we have our sales table here already. That's the sales amount. If you look at the sales, where is that? Yeah, sales amount. Right. This is it here. So what we did was to just use the sum function and calculate the total sales of this. Yeah. So another thing we also need to do now, let's calculate the discounted sales now, because one of the requirements is that we should be able to see, okay, the total sales, the average quantity, the total profit, the profit margin. Of course, we will need to calculate, okay, what is the our gross revenue now, which is comes in terms of the discounted sales that we put out. So this is just normal, a simple arithmetic and yeah, accounting. It has to do with accounting stuff, though I'm not an accountant, but we can be able to do all those simple arithmetics and get something out from our dashboard. So let's go ahead and let's look at our discount sales first. So I'm just gonna go here, new measures. So let me call this discount sales. Okay, I can use the sum function sum. And where is the table? The table is in the order. I think it should be in the order details. Right, discounted sales. Yeah, this is it. So I can just close this bracket, and that's it. So in case if we are not familiar with DAX, let me share a particular website which is called dax.guide. So any formula you want to write in DAX, so this is a resources. You have everything. Let's say, for example, the sum function that I'm trying to use now, I can go to sum. Yeah. So what I need to do now is said sum into bracket the column name. Don't forget that we had sales discounted sales column, which is what I just call up and said, okay, I want to get the total, total sales based on the discounted sale, and the column, which is what was our discounted sale. That's what I call up. So it's very simple. And one thing about it is this, you can always see a video here where you can watch the video and it will guide you, okay, this is what you need to do. So if you go scroll further, you can see how you can implement each of these formulas, each of these functions as pertaining to how you want to build, what you need it for in your report. Yeah, are we still together, please?
Yes.
Okay. So that I don't speak to myself. Okay, so I think we've done a discount sales. So maybe let's try and look at we've done orders. Yeah, total freight. Let's calculate the total freight. That's also given in our um requirement. So let me do the same function, new measures. Let me call this total. Right, yeah. Can use the same function sum. Cost it's in the orders table and in the column name freight, which is, let me go back to our data. Where is it? Order. Yeah, it's gonna give me error because I left. Yeah, so this is what we want to calculate. We want to calculate the total freight, which was part of the requirement that we are being asked. So let me go back to my formula and complete that. Sum, right. Now, we've calculated that. So let's look at, okay, now we've gotten our total sales. So let's calculate what is our revenue now in this case, and how do we calculate our revenue? Of course, we can say, okay, yeah, okay, this is total sales here. We've gotten total sales, total orders. I think let me just bring up our canvas. We did a canvas, like a background, so that will guide us through what we need to do, each of those cards that we need to calculate. So I think we have this. This is what we prepared earlier on, and I think in my sketch, let me look at my notebook. I sketch out this in my notebook where I want all those items to be. Just gonna open my notebook. 1 second, please. Right. Okay, yeah. So in my notebook, I said I'm gonna put the total sales here. I'm gonna put profit net revenue here. I'm going to put my profit margin here. I'm going to put my total orders and total quantity. Okay, so let's also go back and calculate our total quantity first. New measures. I'm going to say total quantity is equal to sum. I think we have a quantity here. Other details, quantity, the same thing. Right. Okay. Now, for us to calculate our revenue profits, can anyone help me how we think we can calculate the revenue now? That's the net revenue. Can anyone help me?
I need the total orders minus total sales.
Okay. Total orders minus total sales. Okay. I think it has to be, we have in the order column, we have let me go back there again to the table. Where is it? In the order details. So we want to calculate, okay, what is the total revenue, which we have calculated in terms of total sales. Now that's the total sales, but in terms of the profit, because if you look at here, we have the discounted sales here already, which is more or less like it's going to be the expenses, because this is what the company gave out. The company give all this. So if you look at the total sum of this value here. This is what the company give out. And this is in terms of the sales amount if they are not giving anything out. So for us to get that, I can say now my total sales minus my discounted sales should give me my revenue, right? Do we have any accountant? I think Mr. Ferdinand, are you on the call? You seem to be in the accounting sector. Maybe you can help us. Is he on the call yet?
No, it's not.
Okay. Or if anyone will have any accounting, accountants here, I believe we should have somebody. If I'm right.
Let's look at each of those columns. Maybe that will give us an idea, because we have a unit price, that is the price of one.
Yeah.
We have quantity, how many they bought.
Yeah.
Then we have the discount that was given out on each. So if we look at sales before discount, it will be unit price times quantity.
Yeah.
Then sales after which is that one, yes. Okay. Then sales after the discount should be this sales amount minus how much we have calculated the discount to be. So if this discount is saying 0, which means there was no discount given on this particular one, sales amount and the discount sale should be the same. That's the way it's coming to me anyway. If unit price is 10 here and the quantity bought was 20, so 10 times 20 gives us 200. That's the sales before the discount. But since it was 0 discount that was given, the sales after discount should then be 200 minus the 0, if that 0 is a number. But if that 0 is a percentage, we need to establish that. This is where we go back to the business and ask them, this discount column that you have given us, is it in percentage or what? So that we'll know if we are finding what is the percentage of, this, or what is the percentage of that. I think if we reason it along that way, then we'll be able to understand what's happening with those columns.
Right. Thank you very much, Ma. Okay.
Mr. Akolayemi, yeah.
Revenue is the total amount of money that comes into the company. So, like I said, it's what the quantity and the amount sold, the quantity and the cost price or the sales price. That will give you the revenue. The summation of everything, that's the revenue. Less cost of sales.
Okay. So if
Deborah is right.
Okay. So let's just quickly do some check. Let me bring out this discounted sales here. Let me also bring out the total sales. Right. So if you look at this now, this is the total sales without the discount. Yeah, which is more or less like the total everything that the company sold out in terms of the money. But if we apply the discount now, that means the company gave out this amount of money out, which we can say is part of their expenses. So in my own calculation now, to get the total revenue, I think we have been asked, let me check the note again. We are revenue profit now. So to get the revenue profit, I'm suspecting that we should remove this from here, and that will be the revenue for the company for this particular data set we have. Because we initially, when we calculated, if you recall, when we calculated this discounted sales, we multiply, this was in percentage. We multiply the unit price, the quantity price, times this percentage of this. That's what that gave us this discounted sales. Maybe I should go back to my query. Let's look at it again. Okay, it's coming up. Right. So if you look at this now, it's in percentage. We've calculated the sales amount, which is the first step we did here, the multiplication. We multiply the unit price by the quantity and give us the sales amount. But we didn't factor the discount sales, which is why I say, okay, we have to remember we've calculated the total sales using this. And another one that we did here now is, okay, let's now take this percentage. Of course, in this particular order, there was no discount. That's when we say, okay, zero, this percentage multiplied by this and gave us this. That means there was no any percentage. If you look at this, 15% discount was given. So, which is, if we calculate 15% of the sales amount, it gives us around 222 £222, which is the discount sale. So for us to now get the total revenue, we need to subtract this discounted sales total from this our sales amount total, which what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's do that and see what is going to come out. Do we all agree with me now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, thank you. Why is it? Okay, I need to refresh this. Let me close and apply again. Okay, so let me say new measures now. I'm going to calculate the net net. How do they put it in the requirements was okay. Yeah. Okay, so let me say revenue now equals to total sales. I can just call up my total sales minus, I think we call that discount sales. Right. Okay, so let me just change this revenue. And one thing about the new card visuals now, you can combine, don't let me, I think I should not go to that yet, but so you can see this is the total revenue, this is the discount sale. Let me also show the total sales. So in a nutshell, so I didn't mean that the company did not give this discount, then this should have been their total revenue. That is what the total money that comes in, but because they gave it some discount, it has reduced their revenue. That's fine. So I think the next thing we need to do now is to calculate the profit margin. We need to calculate the profit margin. So any idea on how to calculate that? Anyone? I'm not an accountant, so but I think it should be our the revenue divided by right, should be divided by the, let's say, anyone. I think I'm struggling on this profit margin.
Mr. Folayemi has his hand up.
Okay.
Yeah. For the profit here, is total revenue minus total cost. The cost is expenses, cost of sales. So like I think I wasn't here last week and 2 weeks ago, so I really don't have so much of those figures. But it's total revenue minus total cost. We give you the profit.
Yes, and I find that we were struggling with looking for the cost in this data set because we are supposed we know the sales, but we don't know where is the cost so that we can know what the profit is.
You know the sales. If you know the sales, that's the sales now.
Yeah, that's the sales there. But then what's the profit? Profit will be total sales minus total cost, isn't it?
No, total revenue. Minus total cost.
Find your husband or not.
Okay.
Yes, so that total cost, I don't know where it is on this data set.
Okay, I think what we'll do, Ma, let's take this discount as our cost.
As our cost.
Yes.
Okay.
No, it can be. So can you go back to where you have the spreadsheets? Maybe I will
Okay.
look.
Okay.
Hold on, price. No.
So all this for $500,000. Dollars.
Actually, the suppliers,
What are you able to do with this?
This is just some bow
okay, just the details.
details.
Okay.
Okay, I think what we'll do now for the purpose of this, we'll just do assumption. So
Okay.
let's take this discount sales because this is the money the company gave out.
Because this
Although-
discount sales is also part of the cost of sales.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just it's too small though. If
Yeah, it's too small. So if you have a revenue of 1.2,
7,
like for assumption's sake here, if
Mm.
your total revenue is 1.27, you can say your cost of sales is like maybe 900K. So you have a profit
Yeah.
of like about 300.
Yeah. So let's hard code it. Let's hard code total cost as that 900K so that we can calculate profit and then profit margin.
Move on later. You can go and start looking for the real thing and substitute it later.
okay.
Thank
Right.
you.
Yeah. So we said we should call this, let me just rename this as cost then. Yeah. Yeah, or let me call it expenses.
No, let it remain the name it is, which is the
Okay.
discount sales. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Then we now let's create another measure now.
Okay. New
Yes.
measure.
And
Yeah.
we just say total cost equals 900,000. So that's now what we will be using.
Okay. $900, right?
Yes.
Okay. Right. So let me see what is that going to show. Okay. Let me change it to currency.
I think we need more zeros. It's bringing 90K. We need one more zero, I think.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Okay.
So easily we can get our profit now.
Okay, to get our profits now will be this minus revenue.
Yes, so it will be revenue minus the total cost now.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's fine. So now
we'll now find the profit margin.
Okay.
So profit margin will now be a new measure, which will be our total profit divided by
the revenue.
The revenue, yes.
Yeah, right. Profit margin. So we can say divide the net profits, which is what did I put now? That's total profit. Total profit by revenue.
So just change that to a percentage.
Percentage, yeah. Okay. Let's say profit margin. Change this to percentage. Okay. Okay, I think we are making a good progress here. So let me try and bring the background so that we can start doing some. So let's start with this first one. I have this prepared in the PowerPoint already, so I'm going to save this as an SVG file. Save scalable vector graphics. That's what I'm going to choose. Okay, save. So I need to choose location. Let me call this page 1.
Sorry, what's the essence of the SGB?
Okay, it's to maintain, to maintain the resolution quality.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. You can also choose PNG, but it may look blur, but that's SVG will maintain its properties.
Mr. Azim.
Yes, ma'am.
Should I make a suggestion?
Okay.
Before we start using backgrounds, let's do simple graphs first, where we can build on the background we have here. Then we'll have a class where you teach us how to make these backgrounds, and so that we'll see the essence of having those backgrounds is because we want more professionality in our work.
Okay.
So if we take it gradual from nursery, primary, then we go to all those university backgrounds we are going ahead, it will be clearer to us.
Okay, ma. Okay, that's fine.
Thank you, sir.
So I'll just, let's say we have our total sales here. So it's on the requirements. We need our total sales. Let's put this here. I'm just going to copy and paste. Copy and paste. Just maybe 4 or 5. Okay. We have the total sales. Let's say we have the total orders. So let me change this to orders now. Orders. Okay. Yeah. So this is at a glance. Let's get the revenue profit now, which is this. So remove this total sales. Also, let's take the total profit. Yeah. I will expand this a bit, and this will be my. Let me use profit margin. Yeah. Profit margin. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to do any formatting for now. I'll just do this normally. Then another thing I also want us to do is let's look at, okay, the total sales of orders, or let's say look at, okay, total revenue by freight. Let's see how we can bring that one out. Okay, let me choose the donut chart here. One second. Okay, so let me go to the shipping. Where is that? Total freight. Yeah, I'll pick this one. And then we pick the shipping now. I think there are 3 different types of shipping. We have the Federal, Speedy, and United. Yep.
So why is total sales higher than the revenue?
total sales here is, I think we don't even need this, right? We don't need, because this is when there was no discount. So rather than this, we can replace this as revenue, and this will be the discount sales. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I'll change this to discount sales so that we could see at a glance how much money did we give out. Yeah, okay. So this one I'm going to go
Sorry,
to.
bro.
Yeah.
Your own layout seems to be different. Is it that you move you kind of arrange it or something?
You said what, sir?
Your layout, like all this graphic stuff, is at the top. I think it's always.
It's a new. You need to update your Power BI.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's new. The new version that just came out. I think the June update. Yeah, the June update. That's it. The new one. So you just need to update, and you can get all these visuals at the top. Okay. So let me check this other one. So we need to go to the cheapest. Right. Okay. So we can do the formatting later. So one of the recommendations is that if you are using a do not chart, if the category is more than 3, please do not use it. Do not use it. If it is more than 3, of course, this is easily, you can easily read this, or even if the pie chart or the donut chart, if it's more than 3, please don't use it. You can use another chart. Yeah. Okay, so let's also do what else can we do here? Let's look at the total revenue. I think based on the revenue by category name, that which is also part of the requirement. So let's say total revenue. I'm going to choose the cluster bar chart. Now revenue. And if I go to my category name, yeah. So I can have, maybe I can have that here. I can have this one here, or let me put this one here, this one here, and this one here. Okay. Also, let's try and look at the where the shipping city. Let's visualize that in the map here. But before we do that, let's ensure that we have the right data type for our country or city. I think we can get that. Let me see where we have that information in one of our tables. Collapse this one. Okay, it's not here. Right, so here. So we can format this. You can see the data category now. It's showing us data text, but the category, we need to change this to country, and we can change this to city. So let me go and change this to country. Sorry. Country. Then I can change this to city, right? So we can try to visualize some of this thing here. I think we also have another one in the orders table. Let me check. Right, okay. So this is the country. I'll change this to country. This is city. Okay. So right. So let me do something here. I'm gonna pick the Azure map. You can pick any of the map, but I just want to pick this. Yeah, it's new from Microsoft. there are a lot of features about it. So let me just place that here. And I can say, okay, let me say, is it fried? Let's use the fried by Ship City. Let's see where they are shipping most of the products to. We can get that from the orders. So let me just pick this one. Okay. Right. I think I need to zoom this. I'll need to zoom this one out, or probably, yeah, I won't do any formatting. Let me just keep this aside here. Also, let's now look at, I think one of the requirements is total sales by customer full name. Okay, let's do that. So now, let me use the cluster bar. So customer details, customer name, right? Then total revenue. So this give us now, we can, at a glance, we can see, okay, this is revenue by customer name, which is part of the requirements. Let me put that somewhere around here as well. I'll put this here. Okay, let me go back to the requirement. What is the average sales split by employee first name? Okay, we need to do the average sales. So we can also calculate, we are going to use the average X for this. So for us to calculate that, I'm going to create a new measures. So average, just going to use AVG, sales by employee. So we can use the function, the average X, and here now, in case if there is any filter, I'm going to use another command, say keep filters, right? Keep filters of the values. And I will now go to the customer where I have, because I'm using the customer first name here, customer first name, customer, I think, where did I get that? Oh, no. Okay, I think I'll just use customer name. I think we didn't have customer first name. Customer's name, yeah.
I think the requirement says employee. You need by employee.
Oh, sorry.
I think
Let me
so.
go back. By employee first name. Okay, that's fine. I think my bad on that one. Employee full name. So I'm going to use. Then the next thing we do here, so I need to close this one. And you should now, after that, you need to calculate the sum of, maybe I can even call up the total revenue directly. Or let's just go ahead, calculate the sales Close this. It's giving me an error. Saying average X key filters. Okay. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to use Copilot. Let's say average sales by employee. What's wrong? Something is wrong. I don't know. Why is it not coming? Okay, it's coming up now. Okay, which sales by employee. Okay, so where did I get it wrong? Okay, so I'll just add this and change that, remove that from discount sales. It could be the way I was trying to format this formula. That was why I didn't take it, but I'll just change this one too. Should be revenue. Okay, sales rather. Right. Okay. Yeah. So you can see that's one way. If you are struggling to get the formula right and we are getting error, and Microsoft are just put these features, the Copilot features, which is very fantastic now. You don't even need to, once you just have the basic understanding on how you can use the DAX to create your formula. So I'm going to create next one, average sales by employee. So let me just I'll copy this one, change the data, change this. Yeah, one like, okay, this is it here. So let me delete this one, delete from model. Yeah, I'll need to rename this. It's by employee. So I'll just change this. Right, okay. So that's great. We have what the average sales by the employee now. We have it here. Let's look at the requirements again and see what we can add here. The requirement says we should show, but we've done this one. Okay, total file split by employee full name. Okay, we can do that one. Let me copy, paste this one. Right. So right. Yeah. I think we've been able to come up with something. Yeah. So any question at all on what we've done so far?
As in that's Copilot. So how maybe let's use it to create another thing again
Okay.
that understands, the way we can extract the Dax language from.
Okay. Let's do another one. Let's tell the Copilot to rank all the employee based on what will I use? Total sales now, or maybe in terms of profits. You can say rank employee full name by total profits. Yeah. Then I just click on generate. So you can see it gave us top 10. Let's if we can change this to maybe top 3. We want to see the top 3 employee at a glance. Even what we are having here, I think I can see. I think there was a place we created something like that, but you can see how it created the formula for us without us saying, okay, we want to start calculating ourselves. So that's also one of the features that Microsoft has really helped a lot of people. Times of if you are struggling with calculating something in DAX. And another one that is common is that once you just load your data, you can tell the Copilot that one's yet to be released to generate the dashboard from you from scratch to the beginning. What you just need to do is just to sit like this, and everything will come out for you in few seconds, which you can further modify. But this is the Copilot for DAX for now.
So does that mean we can get calculation for, when we're talking about the total profit, total days and all that?
Yes.
From this Copilot as well?
Of course. So let me close this one and say it should give me the total sales again. Let me do another one. Calculate the total sales amount. Yeah. You can see 1.3, the total sales amount. So it's because I have it's because I have already have a column or a measure named total sales. That's why it just went directly and picked this value for me. So one thing about if you're using the Copilot is make sure that you make reference to that particular, the name of the column of your column, how it is, so that you can be able to catch it. Okay. I'm not going to add this, just ignore this one. We can also say, let me say, okay, what else can we calculate? Right, okay. Yeah, so I think that's, Madam, do you want to add anything to this? Yeah.
In fact, you are busting my brain already. I'm loving this new Power BI. I've not tried it myself, but I'm excited to go download, I'll update my Power BI and start using, these cool, very cool features. One thing we really struggle with is DAX. A lot of people struggle with DAX. The best of people that use Power BI struggle a lot with DAX. So I'm glad that they have gone on to put this Copilot, which is a development upon something they used to have before. You could actually, is it QA or something you could ask,
Yeah, Q&A.
Yeah, but this Copilot does it far better than that Q&A. This is looking really great. I mean, if we could get a bit of explanation around the map, the bubbles that is giving us, you know, if not in this class, in our next class, that would be really nice. So seeing all these charts in a plain on a plain background, and a lot of formattings can be done to them. It's exciting on its own. But that part where Mr. Azim is trying to bring in that background is even more exciting. But we will understand that better when we understand the simple face of it. So I'm excited to see what he's got for us in the coming days. Thank you so very much, sir, for today. Thank you to everyone who's been on board. It's recorded, so it's a beautiful session to rewatch and rewatch. And any aspect of it that we've got questions on, we can reserve it for the class or go on and research on it. You know, it's all part of the journey. So if we don't have any further questions from anyone, is there a part of today's class that's not clear at all? Let's talk now that we are all still here. The only part, Mr. Ferdinand, the only part we did a bit different from last week was that, because, you know, last week we struggled with finding total cost. So we just had coded our total cost in today. We just decided to say, okay, total cost equals 900K, since we couldn't find it in the data set. And then we moved on, you know, with it like that. And that's it really. Maybe for assignment, we can try to do the rest of the questions, the business questions we've been asked to solve, and showcase that to us next week. Let's bring our excitement of it, our struggles when we're trying to do it. Let's bring all of that to class next week. And yes, thank you very much for today, sir.
Yeah, before you go ahead, Mr. Azim, how can we update it? Because we didn't buy it. How can we update this Power BI, the one that we already downloaded?
Okay, so just go as if you want to download a new one. Okay, let's take for example, download Power BI. So once you come to the Power BI where you normally click on advanced download option, because if you click on that other one, if you're on Windows, to take you to Microsoft Store, and what that means is that it's not going to update anything for you. So you need to click on advanced download option. It will take you here where you need to select, okay, what language you need. So once you click on next language, it will ask you, is it 64-bit or is it 32-bit? So you can pick any one of yours. So just do as if you want to install. Automatically, it will update itself on what version you have.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay. So I think there is another thing that I also want us to do. Maybe we can, let me just do that, is by creating a calendar table, because one of the things that when we start this session is that we want to be able to calculate, okay, the average number of time it take to ship a particular product. Although we have, you know, we have that in this table where we have the ship date, order date, but we need to create, we don't need, if you are dealing with anything with dates, it's always advisable that you create a calendar table, a date table on its own. And how we are going to do that, I think I will leave that till the next session, where we can also start from there. We can start from there rather and build something, creating a date table. We can just use either using the calendar auto, or we can use the calendar and specify the start and the end date based on the date we have in our data set. So that's another way we can do a lot of those stuff. So on that note, I think I'll hand it over back to Madam, for closing remarks for this session.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. It's been a really beautiful session. It's always a beautiful session, you know, when we have you, and we appreciate you. We appreciate that a lot. And we appreciate everyone that has been on all the questions. Thank you very much. I do believe that we'll, you know, it's one thing to watch this being done, But the best part is you getting on it and getting it done yourself, and not just once, because when we do it once, we forget. Let's keep practicing and practicing. And that's where this last 1 hour becomes something we have really added onto ourselves. So thanks everyone, and let's have a beautiful weekend to ourselves. Go have fun and enjoy with the family. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
So much.